it from her mama. I'ma say you got it right. Body rude is polite. Don't be in the humble type. Tell me, is you down? Cause I'm tryna go out tonight. Posing hoochies left and right. I just wanna live in a fantasy. I think we deserve it.
Hey everybody, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. For today's video, I have partnered with Saviland to show you their new airbrush gel polishes and their high pressure airbrush machine. So inside the box, you get some cleaning brushes, you get your hand piece. Of course, you have your airbrush compressor, and this compressor is rechargeable and cordless, and the power button has a high and a low setting. You also get two paint cups, a smaller one and a larger one. The larger one is clear so you can see how much paint is inside. I will be using the larger cup for this video. And of course, you have your charging cable. I'm gonna go ahead and put my airbrush together and allow it to charge for a couple hours before we get started. While my airbrush is charging, I'm going to prep the nails for the airbrush application, and this is my girl Maya. This is my practice hand. I am just putting down one coat of white gel polish and curing it for 60 seconds. Before Saviland and I decided to partner up, I had already purchased a set of these airbrush gel polishes out of my own money, out of my own pocket, because my experience with airbrush machines had been a disaster. The whole gel polish, acetone mixture, stir it up, try to get the same consistency every time, trying to get the right consistency. It was a mess, and the fumes were horrible. There are no fumes with this. I'm not saying it's completely smell or scent free, but on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the worst, 1 being the best, it's like a 1, barely a 1. And it's literally pour and spray. Shake up the bottle, pour it in the cup, and spray it out. It's literally that simple. I reached out to Saviland to tell them how much I loved this product and how I stood behind it. I, at this point, am on this is my 5th airbrush machine because I literally clogged all the other ones up. So yeah. Now that our white base is cured, we're gonna go ahead and start airbrushing with the pink, purple, we're gonna use the blue, the yellow, and the green. And with my white base, I did not use a matte top coat. It is not necessary. You just want to make sure that your base color is fully cured before you begin airbrushing. Inside your box of airbrush gel polishes, you will get a bag of little pins just to pierce the top of the bottle because the bottle is completely sealed at the tip. So you want to shake your bottles really well before you pierce the tip. You don't want to shake them after the fact. So as I told you guys earlier, your power button is on the back. If you hold it down for a couple seconds, that will turn it on. You hold it down for a couple seconds, that will turn it off. If you press the button quickly, that'll just change the power from high to low. So the first color I'm going to get started with is the yellow. I have shaken the bottle really well, and I'm going to go ahead and use that push pin to pierce the tip. I kind of like to just set the pin in there and then slowly pull it back out of it so that it doesn't splatter everywhere. But even if it does, it's a very easy cleanup because the color is not dry until it's cured. A very little goes a long way. As you can see, I have a very small amount of gel polish in my cup. My airbrush is set to low power. I'm going to go ahead and test that color on paper towel to make sure that it sprays out properly, and then just spray where I want it to be. You want to make sure that you are spraying the nail at a distance, and once you're happy with your gel polish, you can go ahead and cure that for 60 seconds. I also want to take a moment as a reminder that when you are doing any sort of service with fumes that can get into the air, you want to make sure that you're wearing gloves and a mask. If you're doing the service on a client, be sure to provide them with a mask as well. You also want to protect their cuticles with liquid latex or some sort of guard so that the product is not getting on their skin. So I prefer to clean out my airbrush in between colors. I clean my airbrush with rubbing alcohol only. Do not use acetone as it will deteriorate any rubber pieces inside of the airbrush. Since I put my alcohol in, I sprayed it until it ran clear. I'm going to go ahead, add that green in, test it out on my paper towel. I'm happy with it. I can go ahead and spray where I want the green to be on my nails. And again, I am holding the airbrush back away from the nail just so that I don't get a lot of the product in one spot. Once I'm happy with it, I can go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. I went ahead and added a little bit more alcohol to the cup, and now I'm just spraying it again until it's clear. That's how I know my airbrush is ready for the next color. So now we're going to do the same thing with blue. I may have mentioned it earlier, but these colors are very buildable. So once you spray your first coat of gel polish and you cure, you can go right over it again to get the color to be more vibrant. I haven't had to do that very often as it does have great coverage and is very pigmented. Typically, one coat of color is plenty and I won't have to do a second coat. I've cleaned out my airbrush and now I'm going in with pink. And you saw that I did a little spray, a very quick spray, and it was clear. That just let me know that there was still alcohol in the nozzle of my airbrush, and I just sprayed it again until it was pink. And once I'm happy with my pink, I am going to go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. I honestly believe you could probably get away with curing for 30 seconds in between your color. 60 is just a habit for me, but I will probably try to just do a 30-second cure going forward. Just because I think that's more than sufficient. You just want to do like a flash cure, and by the time you get through with all the fingers and they're in the light, they'll get a full cure of 60 seconds or more anyway. So I have got the pink out and now we are spraying our purple. And you should also know that these colors are pigmented enough to show up over black as well. I tested that out myself with my kit that I purchased on my own, and yeah, they show up really good over black. Now, one really important tip that I want to give you is once you're happy with all of your airbrushing and you've cured everything fully, go ahead and protect your airbrush with a no wipe top coat. Cure that for 60 seconds. I highly suggest doing this if you plan on doing any type of art on top of your airbrush. In the event that you make a mistake and need to wipe it off, you don't want to disturb your gel polish, because when I first started with this product, I thought that I could just go ahead and wipe off my mistake with alcohol, and it did kind of fade the color. So I started putting down a no wipe top coat and curing for 60 seconds before I add any art or stickers to my airbrush. I decided to take this in a 90s theme direction just because I love all the colors in the background. I've added some black gel paint to my palette, and I'm just going in and adding some abstract swirls and just little lines, and the black really pops on top of those colors. So once I'm happy with all of my black detailing, I'm going to go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. I have cleaned my liner brush and I am going in with white and adding some more lines and swirls to the nails. And once I am happy, I'm going to go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. If you know anything about 90s nail art, you know those dots are what bring this nail art to life. I don't know what it is, but once you add those dots, baby, those nails go to a whole nother level. I don't know what it is. So I am going in with my dotting tool and I'm adding some black dots. Once I'm happy with those, I will go ahead and add my white dots. I am curing in between for 60 seconds. This product is absolutely a game changer, and I'm not just saying that because I've partnered with them. Like I said earlier, I had already purchased this product with my own money, and I contacted them to tell them how impressed I am with this product. I have not had a single issue with my machine clogging. I have not had a single issue with coverage or pigment. I have not had an issue with any type of harsh fumes in the air. It really is an amazing product. To elevate these nails just a little bit more, I'm going to add some foil glue and cure it for 60 seconds. I'm just adding it randomly on the nails. And once it's fully cured, I am going to tap some gold foil onto the nails just to add a little something. I didn't want to do rhinestones, so I just thought the gold foil was a nice, simple touch. Now that I've got my gold foil on the nails, I am going in with my no wipe top coat and curing that for 60 seconds. I hope this video has helped you. If you have any questions, please leave them down below in the comment section, and I do my best to answer everybody. I appreciate you all so much for being here. Thank you all so much for watching. Saviland, you did your big one with this. This is an absolutely amazing product. It is a game changer. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one. Again, I appreciate you all so much for being here. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you all again soon in the next one. Bye.
I'ma say you body right, body rude, is polite. Don't be in the humble type. Tell me, is you down? Cause I'm tryna go good tonight. Posing hoochies left and right. I just wanna live in a fantasy.